Hello and welcome back to another live session with Nana Ayebiafo, Jnana, a mistake and a life coach. My name is Jonathan Morningstar. Jnana, welcome once again.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Morningstar.
How are you doing?
Yeah, by the grace of God, I'm feeling good. I'm okay.
Okay. Let's go straight to our topic for today. But before we go, when I was young, one day I went to the cemetery. We went to the cemetery to bury my cousin. So while we were burying him, there was another session at the Osu cemetery where they were burning someone.
Okay.
And the comments that was coming from the people were, oh, wait, mommy, are occult.
Okay.
These are occult. So in my mind, it was, oh, these are occult practices.
Okay.
Until I grew up, then I came to learn that, oh, they weren't occult. But there are also some traditions. Some say traditions, some say they are cultures. So we are approaching you so you explain deeper to us. What is cremation?
Okay. Thank you very much. I would like to say a good morning, afternoon, evening to those that are watching us. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we have wonderful teachings that you will love to watch. So subscribe to the channel and then you can share with friends. Cremation, it's an English word which means to burn. So when you say cremation, you're literally saying burning. But burning what? Burning dead bodies. The truth is that there are so many traditions and cultures in the world, and each and every one of these traditions or cultures have ways and means of disposing of the dead ones. We are Africans, we are in Ghana, so even in Ghana here, we have many ways. For instance, the Muslims, how they do take care of their dead ones. They have one casket, the coffin, and that one coffin will be there for a very long time. Because what they do is that they take the dead body, send the dead body to the cemetery, and then remove the body and drop in the grave. Then that coffin will be sent back to the house. That's to the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
The Christians don't do that. They put the body in the casket, in the coffin, and they send it to the cemetery. They dig the grave. Most of them even do concrete, in the grave. And at times, they will even nail the cover of the casket, drop the body in there, cover it with sand, and later they will go and do some screeding on top of it. At times, they can even build some house on it. So even in Ghana here, we have two different kinds of disposing of the dead body. If you go to other traditions, like if you go to the Australia, the Aborigines, those ancient times,
Okay.
they used to throw the dead body into the evil forest.
Why is that?
Because they feel that the body must be thrown to the animals in the forest.
Okay.
So they throw the body into the forest and then animals will feed up on that.
So like the ecosystem.
The ecosystem, yes.
Okay.
You die and then you become a food to other living beings. Those living beings become food like that. And there are other traditions. When someone dies, the body will be placed in a canoe. So they're dressed with different kind of woods, stuff, and then they leave the canoe on the river. So they have these archers, those that draw the arrow. So they will shoot an arrow with fire into the moving canoe. So as the canoe plies on the river, then gradually everything bends and they mix up with the river. Okay. And ancient people prefer cremating the body, burning the body. So what I know and what I've seen in the eastern part of the world, Asia, is when someone dies, that very day, their body does not go to the mortuary. They make sure that body is cremated.
That same day.
That very same day. So when somebody dies in the morning, around, say, mid-morning, before 6 p.m., the body will be cremated.
Why do they do that?
There are many reasons. We have the economical reasons of cremation. We have the emotional reasons. We have the moral reasons. And we have the spiritual reasons. So the economical reason, which I think this part of the world where we have so much, scarcity of money and all that, I think that if cremation is accepted widely here in this part of the world, it's going to benefit us so much economically. Because first thing is, You don't need to go and buy any expensive casket coffin because you know it is going to be bent. Okay? And there are many other things like gold ornament and so many ornament people spend money to buy and leave in the casket. Because all this is going to be bent, so you don't need to be buying all those things. And also, you don't need to go and buy any grave. If you go to a cemetery, if you go to a Udome cemetery, the land size for these cemeteries, I mean, does it really make sense?
Very huge.
Because just imagine, in Accra, around Osu, I know if you want to buy 1 acre of land, it will be costing something like $1 million, whatever. The big monies. So how many acres of land has been occupied by all these rotting bones? Awudome is there, Osu cemeteries, and many other cemeteries we have in Accra. So people are finding it so difficult getting land. But rotting bones have occupied vast land.
Even now, they are burying people on top of people.
You see that thing? You see that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Because already the land is no more, but the land that we've set aside for all these kind of activities is so much. So economically, ask yourself, if the government want to build some affordable houses in Osu Cemetery, the whole place will be graded, and then we want to build, apartments. You look at the Segleme.
Yes.
See, so a story building is going to be like about, say, 10-story. They want to build an apartment like that. How many people can be accommodated in that very area? Don't forget that most of the works in Accra, everything around the Osu, the ministries and all that. So just imagine, people have to drive all the way from Nsawam, from far away from Kaswa, to go to the office there. Because that area is a very busy area. Land is difficult. So you can't even get accommodation there. Driving all the way from Kaswa, from Nsawam, to around Osu to go to the office, you have to leave home very early in the morning by 5 a.m. So if the government want to construct some affordable housing around that middle of the town, so it means that those who are working all the way around that area, they can patronize and have the accommodations there. So going to the office become very, very easy. So productivity goes up. Someone wakes up early in the morning by 4 a.m., 5 a.m., you have to start driving to the workplace. You get around 7. You leave there around 5 p.m., you get home around 8. The next morning, you are tired. So the land that we have just, set aside for these dead ones, if this land is cultivated into affordable housing, just imagine how many people can be accommodated there. High-story buildings. Then we go to Awudome. So economically, if you have to cremate bodies, this is the best. See, if you go to the cemetery, where we have allocated for the cremation, that's the crematorium, it's less than 1 plot. It's less than 100 by 100.
Yeah.
Small place. But trust me, I would say more than about 50 people that have been cremated there. And before this, people have been cremating their bodies all this while. So I mean, that small space, that's small, like 100 by 100. Hundreds and hundreds of people have been cremated in the same place, and the place is still there. So just imagine if all those bodies that have been buried there were cremated. We could have had only small portion of land where all these things are done nicely. Yeah. So economically, the best thing to do is cremation. You don't waste money on the coffin. There are many, many others you don't waste money on, and especially the land you have to keep for the graves. So that's economic side. And then when it comes to the moral side and the emotional side, anytime you go to the cemetery, if you have ever lost parents before or family members, you begin to think of them, and that same mood is replayed in your mind again because you see all those kind of graves there. You begin to think of your mother, your father that has passed away. So that kind of emotions that anytime we revive in our system, anytime we go to the cemetery, when there are no cemeteries, that kind of emotional feelings is no more.
That's true.
It's no more. Anytime you drive around the cemetery, the first thing that comes to mind, if you have ever lost any family member before, you begin to think of them, how they lived, how they were buried, and all that. So that kind of emotional aspect, cremation takes it away. And then spiritually, that's the most important one. See, we are all attached to this our body. We are all. And that kind of attachment becomes an obstacle at the point of death.
How is that?
I want everybody to understand that we have different realms. This our gross body exists here on the gross world. The subtle body exists on the subtle realm.
When you say gross, you mean the physical world?
Physical, but say the physical one, we have the gross and then the subtle.
So there are two.
Subtle is also physical. It's material. It's not spiritual.
Okay.
Yet that it cannot be seen.
Okay.
So like I've been telling people, this our body consists of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. All these elements are gross. You can see them. Yeah. Then we have the subtle body, the dreams, the body we see in our dreams. That is not a gross body, it's a subtle body, but it's also material.
Oh, okay.
So the gross body lives here on this planet. Here, we can interact, we eat, we dress, we marry, we do all these things with this our body. But apart from this realm, there is another realm that we term as the metaphysical realm or the subtle realm. It is also here on earth. Okay? So whatever we do here, we do with the gross body. But the attachment to this gross body becomes a hindrance when you want to move into the subtle realm. Like I'm saying, you have this gross body and you have a subtle body. The gross body can be seen. You can see me, I can see you. Those that are watching us can see us because we have a gross body. Okay. But you can only see your subtle body when you are sleeping. Yeah. And it's only when you have a dream. So what we call dream is just an experience of your subtle self. Okay. But when one is so much attached to the gross things, it becomes an impediment at the point of death when the subtle body has to leave this gross world and then transcend into other realms.
Can you walk us through the process of the person leaving the body and how it becomes an hindrance?
Yeah, see, the whole point is that this is the gross body. I said before, 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. In our dreams, the body we see, this is called the subtle body. The dream body is a subtle body. And it's made up of 3 things: the mind, intelligence, and false ego. Within that subtle body is the spiritual self, the you, the me, the real person. Okay, so like this voice, I'm wearing this vest. Under this, I'm wearing my singlet, and then within it, Jnana is there. So this is the gross body, the singlet is the subtle body, and the me, the person inside, is the spiritual soul. So when your time is due, all of us, we have a stipulated time that we are to live here. We cannot go beyond it unless God decides. So in God's own arrangement, there are institutions that takes care of everything. Like for instance, we have rains. There are institutions that takes care of rain. Okay. So the CEO of that institution is Indra. So Indra makes sure rain falls, where the rain falls and whatever. So Indra is in charge. Then you see the sun rising from the east to the west. There's an institution. And the leader of that institution is Surya, the Vashvan, who is in charge. The air we are breathing, there's an institution that controls the air. Okay? Then the personality who is in charge is Vayu, he controls the air. So what I'm trying to say is that there are institutions for everything that God has created. The same way we have institutions that manages our education, our health, and our security and all that. The same kind of arrangement is in the arrangement of God. So the institution that takes care of death is not an evil institution. It is God-ordained institution. And the leader of that institution is Yamaraj. Okay. So the Yamaraj is the CEO of that institution that takes care of people who are ready to live. They have to come for you because nobody wants to die. Even those that commit suicide, trust me, at the point of death, they regret starting the action. Death is not an easy thing. It is not a pleasant thing to any conditioned soul. It is the most painful experience anybody will experience. Death is the most painful experience. And at times when you speak, like people ask you, have you ever died before? I have died many times. And you too, you have died many times. Just that you don't remember. And you too, you have died several times. All of us. Because this is not the first time you're going to die. We have been in this material world for millions of years. You see, this thing becomes difficult for people, ordinary people to understand. But if you understand the science of reincarnation, the science of karma, you'll understand that this is not the first time you are coming to this world. Because the whole point is that why did God give you this face, this form, a man, not a woman? Which tribe are you? Which parents to appear? Which society? Who is making that arrangement? Because I know very well that now in Ghana, people are giving birth today in Kolebu Hospital. Now, as I'm speaking with you. And some people are also giving birth in some wonderful private hospitals where individuals will have their single. If you go to Leicester Hospital and those kind of expensive hospitals, you go and the woman who's going to give birth, you have your own room. You have your own room with your bed and everything is there. They have this bell in case there's anything emergency. You click it and quickly the nurses will come.
Heaven on earth.
In Ghana here, I'm telling you, not abroad, in Ghana. And in the morning, they will come and ask you, what do you want to eat? They will take your morning order, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they will serve you nicely. And the nurses are coming with smiles and all that. In Ghana here. Because a day you have to pay so much money for that room and the service that's being rendered. But at the same time, go to some hospital. A big hall. And they have about 20, 30 beds there. And on these beds are women who are ready to give birth. Some of them are in labor and they are crying. And they don't even care if a man, at times, you go there and you have to go through the, what's the name? Is it labor ward before you go and see maybe the doctors, whatever. And some of the women, they are half naked. They don't care. Because the kind of pain they go through at that point in time is so much. And you go and look at the bed. People are sleeping on. And some of them, after even giving birth, because there are so many other pregnant women who are looking for bed to lie on, you have to go and lie on the floor. A newborn baby who is coming to the world for the first time in this life is lying on the floor. There's no mattress. You put some small cloth and put the baby there. But in this same Ghana, you go to Leicester and all this Nyaho and these nice places, you go there and people are treated nicely. So the fact is, even in Accra here, those who are going to take birth in maybe Amasamai Hospital, maybe in Sawam Hospital, and those who are taking birth in this Leicester and all these wonderful places now, who is making that arrangement? And don't forget, there are some places when the woman is ready to give birth, they have to carry the woman on some motorbike and cross some river. Because there's no health center there, they have to cross the river. So every week, you're a pregnant woman, you are going for antenatal. Because, hospital is not too far from you. There are people, they have to take more than 10 miles before they go for antenatal. So because of this, they will never visit any antenatal. They will just be home like that, and the nurture's own arrangement, when they want to give labor, they are almost giving birth before they think of going to the hospital. So if there's any ailment with the mother, it will be transferred to the baby. If there are any difficulty, the mother is processing that, may science or health personnel could be able to make sure that the baby doesn't contract that sickness. The baby will have it because the mother doesn't even go to hospital. So you're telling me that baby is taking birth today in some far deep village where there's no medical center, where people have to suffer, where they drink water with animals, and maybe in Ghana here, where people can go to the Leicester Hospital, they can give birth in a very wonderful, serene atmosphere. You think it is just by chance that we think that kids are innocent. So if these two kids are innocent, one is taking birth in Accra, one is in some deep village where there's no light, no drinking water. They have to share stream with the animals. When the animals are drinking water, they have to go and drive them away before they can go and take water. This is the water they are drinking. You think God Almighty is being fair, making all this arrangement? You might end up saying, God, you are not fair. This child is innocent, taking birth in Leicester Hospital in Accra, a beautiful place. I've been there twice. Very beautiful place. And somebody taking birth in some deep village, somewhere where the only thing you hear in the night is the cricket making quack, 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 quack in the night. You hear the sound of birds. That's the only thing you can hear. There's no light, electricity there, nothing. So God, who is making all this arrangement, how can you say God is fair? You ask this question because your understanding of life is very limited. But those of us who have studied and we've really understand life, we know God is very fair. This person is taking birth in this wonderful place because of A, B, C, D from the previous life. And he's taking birth with this face. He comes as a male or a female. Or maybe he's coming as a blind person. Whatever it is. All this arrangement is not by chance. And the one who's taking birth in a very deep village where everything is difficult to find. Even the mother don't even eat very well. Things are so difficult. The most amazing thing, they share water, ordinary water, dirty water together. And this small, there are many people, they give birth like this. They don't even give them ordinary water. Even ordinary sachet water, they won't give them. They have to give them bottled water all the time. The bottled water, somebody has never seen anything like that. Not even sachet water. What they take there is that they go and take the stream. And at best, they boil it. Then later, when it's cooled down, before they drink. If not, the kids, when they're going to school, they get to the stream, they take the water and drink. All the germs and the virus, everything there goes to their body. So the point is, God is fair. So if it's fair, why is he making this arrangement that people coming to the world for the first time have to go through a beautiful circumstance before they come here? And some have to go through painful circumstance before they even see the world. So you might think God is not fair, but we know God is fair because he is making all these arrangements based on our previous lives. Okay? So now the soul comes out. You come to this world, you come and live all the time. Maybe you have to live for 50 years, 2 months. The time is up. Then Yamadutes. I told you, an institution in charge of death. The owner, the leader is Yamaraj. So his people that works for him, we call them Yamadutes. So they come over, the time is up. Then they drag the soul from this body. So when you sleep, you wake up because there's a connection between your subtle self and your gross self.
So when they come, do you see them?
Yes. 7 days to the time of the death of many, they see the Yamadutes. Not everybody, but there are people, before they leave, at least 7 days to the time, they see the Yamadutes flashes. You might not see them fully, but as like something crosses by that. What is that? At times, you yourself, you feel deep down yourself, like you're going somewhere, you might travel. That's when people, at times, they call people and say, okay, I'm going to travel, I might not come down now. They speak as if they are aware. They don't even know what they're talking about.
Okay.
But they are being forced to speak this way. So the Yamadutes, you might not see them until when the time is due. When is your time for you to leave? Say maybe it's 2, 3, 5 seconds. You see them coming, they are horrible beings. If you have ever experienced somebody dying before, please, if you're a nurse, you're a doctor, what I'm talking about, you know. You guys have been around dead bodies before even the soul leaves the body. You see how people behave. At times, they will be calling names. They will have their eyes widely open, but they can't see. They will be calling the name, oh, they have come. They are calling me. And at times, some of their old family members that have passed away maybe 100 years, 200 years ago, they see them and they will be mentioning their names. At times, like the kind of nervousness, the fear in them, because they are seeing things. Okay? So when the soul is ready to leave, the Yamadutes will drag the soul out. Then the connection.
Let's say the soul is a righteous soul.
Yeah.
Does the Yamadutes appear in a scary form or just the?
Yeah, we have 3 kind of deaths.
Okay.
One who died as a sinful person, one who died as a righteous person, and one who dies as a pure person.
Okay.
When one dies in the mood of sin, the Yamadutes might come for you. One who dies in the mode of righteousness, so Yamadutes will come for you. Because righteousness and sin, they all operate within the material universe.
Okay.
Even though the righteous souls go to heaven and the sinful souls go to hell, the Yamadute come for you. It's like somebody accuse you of some kind of wrongdoing. Whether it's true or not, you have to go to the court to go and prove that you're okay.
Okay.
Or you're not okay. So the same way. Now, whether you are sinful or you're a righteous person, it must be decided in the court of Yamaraj. But if you're pure soul, Yamadutes don't come close to you. There is another set of institution that takes care of pure souls. And these people are called Vishnudutes. They come purposely for people who are pure. And when they take you, you're going back to Godhead. But if the Yamadute come for you, it's either you go to hell or you go to heaven. Mm-hmm. So the soul will be dragged out of the body. And the pain one goes through is more than 10,000 times of the bite of a scorpion.
Wow.
If you have ever been bitten by a scorpion before, you know what I'm talking about. When we were kids, now you can't say, they're very funny. Scorpion or kawa. And you're so painful, so almost get up to deep, and I what toilet and I want to. When we were kids, we say that, and where you're going to get that thing. So when you are crying and shouting, it's okay. If you want the pain to go away, you have to go and eat the toilet of an old woman. So when they say like this one, then you have to endure the pain. And you don't want to shout because they'll go and force you to go and eat the toilet. So the pain is so much. When a scorpion bites you, the pain. See, as soon as they bite you, it's like you are paralyzing. The pain moves. It goes through you feel it. The pain is going from the point of where it bites you all the way straight to your heart.
So this is your personal experience.
I'm telling you, when you're a farmer, you know some of these things.
Okay.
When they bite you, within 15 seconds, your body will be shaking. You won't feel your body. You cannot feel your body. The pain will be moving all the way straight. So, but the scripture tells you that kind of pain, 10,000 times by that is a pain when one goes through when you're dying. So even death is a moment, less than a second. But the pain will last like 2 years. It's a moment. I mean, the Yamaduta will drag you and then they cut the thread because there's a connection. The subtle thread between you and then your subtle body. They will just, sever it. That short period is like 10 years.
Is there a way to avoid that pain?
See, when one is righteous, even though you have not been judged yet, but the punishment is even reduced or minimized how the Yamadutas treat, because they know you. The Yamadutas, they know you. All the things you are doing around. Yamarag is recording everything. So even before they send Yamadutas to you, they know this person might be a righteous person. We still have to go and tell the person. Like for instance, say some MP who has not committed any bad thing. He has been a decent man. Everybody knows him. There's someone reports you to the police that, okay, this person has done something bad. The police come to you and they come with some respect. Okay, Esther, please, we need you at the police station, so you have to go with us. At times, they can even allow you to even drive in your own car. But if you're a criminal already, you have been doing bad things now, when they come with their own handcuff. As they see you now, they know you're going to run away, they want to handcuff you. Okay, so 2 scenarios. One is a criminal already, is known as a criminal, so as they come, they are prepared, they have their guns. But somebody, a decent person, somebody people know in society, and you've been a decent person. When the security is coming to you, they still come with respect and tell you, please, they need you, they have to report yourself. So you can even sit in your car, they will follow you, something like that. So Yamaduta come in, they know this person, so they have planned for you already. So you have to go through all the pains and stuff. But if you're also a righteous person, yes, going out, you have to feel the pain. Because the soul leaving the gross body is painful. But there's a ways and means one can do to minimize the pain. And that is, now that you are living, you have to learn the art of detachment.
Teach us how.
I will. You have to learn the art of detachment. Anyone who is not attached to this gross body, who is not attached to the expansions of this gross body, it becomes a little bit easier for a person to transcend to the other realms through death. But those who are so much attached to the body automatically become attached to the extensions of this body. And then the property that belongs to the extension of this body. So that attachment creates an impediment. And that impediment makes you become so much engrossed with whatever you think you possess that when you are living, the pain alone is enough to make you nervous. Okay? So now, I tell people, you have the right to possess everything, have all the cars, all the beautiful houses, all the beautiful things in this world. But don't be attached to them. See yourself as a caretaker. Enjoy it. Drive the car. Drive the bicycle. Drive the motorbike. Sleep in that room. Be nice. Be happy. But deep down your heart knows that you are just a caretaker of these things. That one day you have to drop them. And when the time comes for you to drop them, because you knew that you were not really the owner of these things, the pain is not so much. When you get so much entangled with something and that is being taken away from you, that losing that thing alone, the pain is enough to make you even urinate on your body. So when one wants to really live a righteous life, one of the things you need to do is detachment. You must learn how to detach yourself from the thing, the so-called thing that you own. Because that attachment, trust me, it is going to cause you a big problem at the point of death. Because that attachment will create pain. You see, I've been telling people that, see, you need to minimize or limit your expectation from people. If you don't want to get disappointed in this world, minimize your expectations. Because anytime you expect something so much and you don't get it, that's when frustrations and disappointment comes in. But if you don't expect so much, whatever happens, you're okay. Okay? So you have to learn this. The science of detachment. You can own everything and you still don't own anything. So when one is detached, at the point of death, the pain is so much minimized or reduced. Because of a sense of understanding, the pain will not be so much. But one who is so much attached to the gross body, the pain is so much. So you leave the body and there are so many things you have to go through, a lot of things. And within 13 days, you must leave this realm and go to the other realms. So continue your journey. Okay, if you don't live within this period, then now you become an earthbound soul, what we call a ghost, and you'll be here for a very long time.
So with with what you said, the negative aspect of burying the dead is meaning they will be attached to their body.
Yes.
They wouldn't want to go.
Yes. Because the soul is attached to this body and its extensions. The body is still lying down. So the soul thinks that I am able to carry this. It can be months, it can be years. Still thinking that I'll be able to take this. You see, children, when they have balloon and the balloon bursts, they will be with the balloon for a long time thinking that you'll be able to fix it back and then blow the air into it again. So yes, the soul is there. You left the body is mangled, rotten, whatever. But the soul is still thinking that I'll be able to bring everything together and then go back. Because see, the soul is attached to the wife. The soul is attached to the children. And the children and the wife, they are byproduct or extension of the body that's rotten. So because they're attached to all this, the soul is speaking, nobody hears. When someone leaves the body, he speaks, no one hears. So he feels that, okay, I am unable to enjoy my attachment, my extensions, because this body is not enough. So let me carry it so that I'll be able to relate to them. So thinking that taking the body, it will delay the soul to go through all the pains that they need to go through in the form of a ghost. Okay? So, but as soon as the body is cremated, then the foundation of the extensions is no more. So automatically, that attachment to the extensions ceases to exist.
Oh, wow.
So for instance, this body, if I have a son, I have a daughter, I have a wife, I have a mother, father, and other properties, they all emanated from this. So it is the extension of this, my body. Okay? So with this, my body, I can relate it to my wife, I can relate to my son, my daughter, my mom, my dad, my car, my property. With this. So as soon as this is no more, then the attachment to all the things surrounding me is no more, because the real foundation of the attachment is no more.
The tool you use to enjoy these things are no more.
The tool you use for this enjoyment is no more. So how are you going to enjoy? So you forget about all of them because the real source of these extensions are no more.
Oh, wow.
So when the body is cremated, it helps the soul. I've been telling people, you keep your mother's body, your father's body in the mortuary for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, thinking you want to make a very great funeral for your mom. Please, you are not doing them any good. You are actually punishing them. Because the soul, the body stays in the mortuary for 2, 3 months. After the 13th day, the soul is unable to go to the astral tunnel, means that the soul is going to be an earthbound soul. So you are thinking you want to keep your mom's body in the fridge or maybe in the mortuary so that you can organize a very beautiful funeral where all the big guys will come and give you the sour and whatever it is. Please, you are just pleasing your own self. Your mom, your dad will never benefit. It is going to create a problem for them. So I tell people, the best thing to do is to cremate. Let me tell you one thing. My first time I met Rollins, that's former President Rollins, was when one great man in Ghana died. His name was Kofi Ganaba. He was the best drummer, I think, in the whole Africa or something. He used to live around the Hare Krishna temple. There's a place there. So the name is Ganaba. You can Google the name.
Okay.
He's a powerful drummer. He drums like anything. So according to the story, he brought JJ up. Like he did all that. Like he was like a foster father to JJ. So before this man passed on, he fixed it in his will that he wanted to be cremated, and he wanted to be cremated by the Hare Krishna people. He was not a Hare Krishna man. So when he's going to this place, he passed through the temple. So he was nice with devotees, but he said he wanted to be cremated by the Hare Krishna people because he has been reading our books, and he knows that before we cremate a body, there are rituals we do, and that rituals we do is able to elevate that soul to a better place.
Can you disclose the ritual?
Yeah, a few that I can say. So this man, when he passed on, Lawrence was the chairman of the funeral committee. Okay? And the Hare Krishna people were the people that were supposed to cremate him. So all the funeral meetings and all stuff now, we had to be there. And I remember the last day when we were going to cremate the body at the Osu cemetery. We were there when Lawrence came because it was like his first father. So when he came with the bodyguard. There were about 6 of them. And former president. So the security would be around him like that. You know what he said? He told the security, no, leave here and go and stand here. These people, I'm okay with them.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Lawrence said, see, when Lawrence said something, that I don't fear God, I love God, many people criticized him and chastised him. But that was a profound statement. Why do you have to fear your father? Huh? Mm-hmm. Why do you have to fear your father if you are not a bad son? So all the pastors in Ghana, all the so-called prophets, when he said this, they castigated him, insulted him. He's a demon, he's this. But that's the truth. You don't have to fear God. You have to love him. You don't fear your father. You love your father. You fear people that you are not so much related to in a good way. Now, I've been giving this example. All these ministers of Ghana, they might be afraid of the Nado. Because small thing now, he can just fire you tomorrow, you're no more a minister. Mm-hmm. If at times if you're going to express yourself in front of him, you might not even have that kind of energy to talk because you're afraid of him. But you go to his house and see, you might see the grandchildren will be sitting on his back and then they will do ponko. The way we used to do. You'll be walking on the ground, they are sitting here, grandpa. I mean, the grandchildren, they can play with him.
Yeah.
Even when he's eating, they can just go and take the food and eat. Right?
Yes.
They don't fear him, they love him. So when Rollins made that statement, some of you were just insulting him because we don't know Bible. He has been reading our books all these years.
Rollins?
Yes. He is not an educational person, but we know very well because we have given him a lot of books. So he said, I don't fear God. I love God. And people were criticizing him. So what I'm saying is that during the cremation, we were cremating this Ganaba there at the Osu Cemetery. So the body was there. So Rollins was there with the family and the bodyguards. He said, no, don't stand here. These people, I'm okay with them. So there, during the cremation, what we did, and we explained to Rollins. So I remember, I was there. I have a picture. You remember sometime I was sending a picture with the Ali Muhammad and stuff. I have a picture of Rollins also at that place. I even have the video. One day maybe I'll post it.
Can we display it on the...
I might have it. I will check it. I have to check through my archive.
Okay.
So Rollins made this statement. He said, this is nice. I would like to be cremated. I remember this very well, that very day. He said, this is nice. I would like to be cremated when I die. Because we explain the importance. First, you don't have to go and spend so much money buying golden casket and all this nonsense people have been doing. You don't have to go and occupy any big land because you want to take care of dead body. So economically, so it was so good. And then we explain the spiritual benefit of cremation. First, when the body is lied down, is there. Normally we use coffin, ordinary coffin.
Okay.
Then we put some cotton wool, special cotton wool. Then we have this oil, ghee oil. So when we are cremating body, it doesn't bring smoke. There's no smoke. So we will fix the cotton wool everywhere. There's some powerful mantras we will recite. There is a holy leaf, holy basil, we call Tulsi. That Tulsi, we open the mouth of this person, the departed, and then we place one leaf of the Tulsi here. Anybody who takes that Tulsi, even though the person is sinful, you will not see hell.
That's powerful.
I'm telling you. Alongside with the mantras, and among the mantras we will recite. One of them says that, I have lived so long in this world. I might have done so many bad things, and I might have done so many good things. Based on this, I might be punished or maybe rewarded. But now that I hear these wonderful mantras, may the Supreme Lord listen to these mantras and save my soul. So there are many other rituals we do.
So you will recite it on behalf of the person.
We will recite it on behalf of this person. And normally, when you are doing the cremation, the departed soul will be there.
Oh, okay.
Today, when we were doing this, I was telling the lady who is the mother of this deceased, I said, your mom is here. And she was telling me, she said, yes, but the way I feel. I said, your mom is here. So all the prayers and the rituals we are doing now, it is going to benefit the soul. So from here, the mother will leave.
So regardless of
the sins the person has committed. You see, people should understand the power in the name of God. You see, let me tell you one thing. In the Bible, it is said that if one does not accept second birth, there is no question of going to the kingdom of God. That is, if you don't go through baptism and all that kind of thing. When Jesus was crucified, on that very day, according to the Bible story, there were two other guys that were also crucified. One of them said that you have been calling yourself that you're son of God. So why don't you release yourself and help us also? All this way have been doing so many miracles and the blind can see that you are now here and you looking at that. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Truly, Jesus Christ was doing so many wonders.
Yeah.
Oh, man, for 5,000, no mood. Lazarus a good one, and many other wonderful, and people have been hearing all this. Such a person, you're a bomb, you depend, there will be another one, Dana, will be babo. You want to depend on the person's strength. No, you want to hear show. So it's like you have all these abilities we have been noticing, we have been, experiencing it. The blind is seeing, the lame is walking, the dumb is talking, even dead people come back to life. And you're hanging out here and you're also suffering and you're looking at us like that. Please, you should release yourself and help us. The second guy said, No, he has not done anything wrong. We deserve what we're going through. So don't speak like that to him. Then he turned back and said, Please, when you go to your kingdom, please, could you remember me? Jesus said something, said, Today, you will be with me at paradise. Just by the person saying this on the cross, he was a sinful person. He was saved. That's the power of the holy name. That is the power of the holy name. So the fact is that even though the person is sinful, at the point of dying, because he was able to proclaim something, saved. So here, the person who is departed, but we know the soul is still hanging around. We speak on behalf of the soul to the universe that this person might have done so many bad things, but just for the fact that devotees are representing here means that this person did something good. That's why devotees are here.
So it's not coincidence.
It is not coincidence.
Wow.
So just for the fact that we are here means that this person might have done something that deserves the blessings of God. That's why the Lord allowed devotees to come here. So dear Lord, listen to the prayer of this soul. This soul might not even go to heaven, but won't go to hell. You go to purgatory and come back.
What's the difference between the purgatory and the ancestral world?
No, the ancestral world is another realm here within this our earth, but it's a subtle realm. That's why many a time when people are even dying, when they are about leaving their body, they can see the departed. People that have departed maybe 100 years ago, they can see them because the ancestral world is still here, but in the subtle realm. Okay, so those of us that normally we have the power to invoke the dead ones, like when someone dies and the family people come to you that we want to know what caused the death, there's some ritual you do. You invoke the departed, and the departed is able to speak to the family members that A, B, C, D caused my death. The second one is, this one is Nsamanfre, and the second one is Nsamankom. When the person who is deceased wants to speak, but there's no model to speak, is able to penetrate into somebody and they start speaking through the person. That one is there. Okay, so yes, this is the ancestral world. It's still here. It's a subtle realm, and people can communicate from that kind of realm when they have the ability to do so. Okay, so the ancestral world is here. The gross world is here. So this person who is departed, now we are cremating the body. We invoke all these kind of energies. So after all the rituals, we put the tulsi, the holy basil, at the the lips of this person. We do all the rituals. We will put tilak, and that tilak, that thing you seal. In the Bible, there's a saying that getting to the end of the world, there will be some kind of creatures that will be given the power to torment every living being, except those that have the seal of God on their forehead. So the body, we have a seal. We put it here. Every morning when you take your bath, you pull it there. We call the seal of God. So after putting for a very long time now, you see the mark. Even when you're not having the tilak on, you can still see the mark there. So that seal of God, even though this person is not a educational person, but just for the fact that the daughter was close to devotees and devotees are here, we give this person a seal of God on the forehead. And before you put the seal of God, there's a mantra you recite. So after this, all devotees will circumambulate this body for 7 times, which represent transcendentality, like spirituality. We go 7 times, and as you're going, you recite to pray, all of us. Solemn mood. And we are all intervening on behalf of this person. That this person might have done so many bad things, so many good things. But dear Lord, you need to, like that. So we keep on doing, after 7 times, then we cover the whole thing. There firewood, baby firewood like that, there, with the ghee. Then the son or the daughter, if you have a son, the son will first come. We have something that we put a cotton wool with the ghee. They'll light it for you, and then you take it, then go and put it there. The family member. Okay. So if you have a son or a daughter or a family member, they will do that. So when the fire is burning, then we begin to sing some praises to God. We sing wonderful mantras. We sing until the whole thing is done. And we know the prayers are very powerful. See, prayer is powerful. So we do all this, and within 6-7 hours, the whole body is bent. Everything will be bent. So normally, because the place is cemented, the whole place will be very hot. So you can't go and take the ashes. So say tomorrow morning, the following morning, early in the morning, around 5, 6, you go back, and you see 2 different kind of ashes. Two. The firewood ash will be brownish in color. Then in the middle, you see the form of the person, whitish.
Okay.
So you have to put aside all the brownish ashes. Then you collect all the human ash into a vase. That vase. So normally people want to keep it in the house, but we don't do that. If we are where we have holy rivers, we take it and go and pour the whole thing to the holy river. Or in Ghana, we take it to the sea, because all the holy rivers in the world merges into the sea. We go there and then pour the whole thing. But that's a final ritual you have to go and do. That all the things you possess in this world, the last thing here is the ashes. So you offer this into the holy rivers in the world, that no matter how sinful you are, you want to be purified. So that in your next life, you come in a very good way and you remember all your past life, so that you can act and behave properly, so that you don't have to die in the condition you died in this life. So when this ritual is done, then there's something we call agnihotra. The special fire sacrifice normally we do in the house of the deceased. We go there, we set a fire, we do some prayers. If it cannot be done in your house, we do it in the temple. Then the last thing you do, you feed the devotees. Not just devotees, there are brahmana, 11 brahmanas, high priests. You feed them, you give them presentation. You are done. There is no need of any big funerals, no need of any big this, but that. You are done. And trust me, the best thing you can do for your loved ones is cremation. It's not all the big funerals. The money you are giving the funeral, do you give to anybody?
No.
All the things you do there, but this benefits the departed. When people die, we act as if we are doing anything for them. Everything we do around their funerals now is for our own benefit. The money that will come, the fame that will come, everything that comes for we that are organizing the funeral.
Okay.
But for cremation, the dead person benefit from it because of the spiritual significance in all these kind of rituals and routines that we conduct. Okay? So me, if you ask me, I'm telling you, it's not because I belong to a spiritual organization. The best way of cremating the dead ones is through cremation. Economically, cremation will help us to save a whole lot of land. In Ghana here, every town and village, you will see cemetery there. So just imagine, if all these cemeteries in Ghana are completely demolished because we want to set a small place for cremation, just imagine how many acres of land we have from all these cemeteries.
Huge.
People don't have anywhere to sleep. And then we are keeping dead bodies and bones, rotten bones, somewhere. In Accra here, people find it difficult to get land. The way people have been fighting for land, because land is so difficult to come by. Dead people occupying space, big, huge space, because we don't think right.
So let's say the government hears you and we decide to break all the cemeteries and mounds buildings. Don't you think it will affect those who will be living in the building?
Which building?
The cemeteries.
No, like this. Normally, before you do any building, it's not only where used to be a cemetery. The earth that you want to go and construct your own house there doesn't belong to you, even though you went to pay for it. These spaces that we see belong to some spirits, some rivers. So before you start your building, you should not just go and start building. There are rituals you must perform before you build your house.
Oh, okay.
Even if it is not close to a cemetery. Maybe some 100 years ago, some 20 years ago, there was some deity that was living around the area. And these energies can be there for thousands of years. Maybe some thousands of years ago, some big river was there, but gradually, because people are just expanding, the river is moving. So you must do something there. Or maybe some human being had died some time ago, and maybe the person died in a very serious agony. The person is on that land. You must perform some rituals there. So if the government want to demolish all the cemeteries because now we come back to our senses that this thing is nonsense. These are dead ones. We respected them. We did everything for them. But their bones don't deserve to occupy these huge places of land. And they want to demolish anything. Why not? They should send people there to go and perform all the rituals to drive away all evil energies. So that why not? They can build their houses there. See Osu, see Udome. How many people can be accommodated if you have all these apartments there? So economically, it is the best. You don't waste more money. You don't reserve any land for this. Only small space. 1 million people can be cremated in this small spot. Okay? And it's very neat and clean. After this, you are done. If you go to cemetery, you just go and then excavate anywhere and go and see the rotten things you see under the earth. Just take excavator, go to Osu or Awudome, and go and see the kind of rotten things you see down there. And all these things, the people that are selling food around, okay, the people that they're having some farms around and stuff. The water will go down there, it will go under all this, the kind of contamination you have been eating. Okay, so economically is the best. And then spiritually, I'm telling you, the best form of disposal of the dead ones is through cremation. Because you want to help this departed person. Not yourself, the fame you get from the big, wonderful casket you bought for your mom or your dad, or all the beautiful things you gave to her. No. You want to do the one last thing, one last good to this departed person. Help this person an easy pass. Try to offer some help. So that if this departed one is facing any difficulty, any blockades along the path, wherever you go to transcend to, help this person so that you have an easy path from here. And that is cremation. You don't just go and put the body down for fire. No, there are rituals that you have to perform. Those rituals have the power of helping the departed. So I would just say, if people understand, at times, people think that it's painful.
Yes.
Because we know in our early life, fire is very hot and very scorchy. So you are thinking that maybe some time ago, how fire burnt you. So if you die and then they say they have to cremate your body, you're going to feel that pain. So let's analyze this. They put you and there's fire and you are burnt. You think it's going to be painful. So what if they put you in a casket, coffin, they nail it, and they go and dig the ground, do concrete inside, and put the casket in there. Now they have to put another slab of concrete on top of you, and then you are in there. So do you think which of them is going to be more painful?
To take years for
it's going to take years because there's no much air going in there. Housefly cannot go there, so the body is going to lie down for a very long time. So if you are thinking cremation is going to be painful, trust me, burial is more painful than cremation. So my brother, my sister, my mom, and dad, my uncle, if you have the means in your will that you want to be cremated, is the best. And especially if you get cremated by any religious organization who knows what they are doing, at that point in your life where you don't have any other chance of getting any good deed, if you are fortunate enough to invite religious people, I'm talking about people who understand what they are doing, that could benefit you as a person. So, a wonderful topic, and I'm happy people will understand this from maturity point of view. And if possible, let them add this thing to their wills. It's the best thing. Thank you.
So let's go back to the cremation part. You mentioned that they put money in the coffin, right?
Money?
Yes. Or you didn't?
No, we don't put
Those are the traditional ones.
Now I'm talking about normal, the traditional people that they do that. They put some money when you get to this here, pay here, pay here.
And does it hold any significance?
The truth of the matter is that the person truly is going to go on a journey. But this ordinary money will not be used there.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So your 2 Ghana, 3 Ghana, whatever you give to them, it's not going to take them anywhere because in the astral realm, they take something else.
Okay.
Yes, and those things that they take now, you can't give them here.
Okay.
Sure.
So the cremation is done. The departed soul is gone.
Mm-hmm.
With you, the devotees, what do you do after you come back from the cemetery?
Okay, so what we do that as soon as, see, I've been telling people that the crematorium, that is the cemetery, because of the dead bodies there, and most of them, their souls are still there. And because of the ether in the dead body, which attracts elemental forces, anytime you go to the cemetery, it is good for you to purify yourself. So from there, I personally went to the beach to go and get some small sweet water to purify myself. The devotees that were part of the whole exercise, they also drove all the way to the seaside, the beach. All of them would go and clean themselves like that before they will get to the house. So it is important It is not only through cremation. Anytime you go to where there's a dead body, you must purify yourself. And the best purification system is through cleansing yourself with seawater, holy rivers, or maybe through a salty water. So we did that, all of us. I went alone, but I know they took off before me. After the cremation, they took off. They went to the beach. They were going to do, or everybody would just go and do. And we know the importance of the sea. So anytime you are going for a program like this, and that will lead us to the seaside, everybody have a bottle, maybe 5 liters. Everybody, you see, everybody's going to take water and put in the house. There are many cleansing you can do with the seawater. So you go there, cleanse yourself, take some water to the house, and then you're done.
Let's say those who are not closer to the sea, what's the alternative?
Yeah, if you're not closer to the sea, you use water, like salty water. Okay. Or if you know Jnana, after the love, the diaba soup and oil, you can do all this to cleanse yourself. Okay. If you diaba, prekese, eshe, you burn it and use it to create salt. I mean, like soap. You can use to clean some of these elemental forces. Or if you make into oil, you can also use that. And many other things that I have taught, like the palm frond perfume, you can do that. The JCD perfume, you can use for cleansing yourself. The 3 elemental herbs, all this you can use to cleanse yourself. But the cheapest one is the seawater, or you go to the house, you put so much salt into the water for bathing, you go to the washroom and then go and rinse yourself out.
What of the clothes? What do you do with
Normally the clothes, just from the cemetery, you have to use the water to cleanse the dresses, but you don't take it to the wardrobe. When you remove it now, you have to hang it outside, maybe in the sun, so the following morning, then you can take them.
Okay. So talking about the elemental forces, I have one friend. It happened recently. He said there was a funeral at their opposite house, and all of a sudden he started crying. He didn't even know the person. Mm-hmm. So what will be these causes? Are there elemental forces around?
No. If somebody cries because somebody, it might not be the cause of any elemental force. I think we are human beings. At times you don't have to cry because of the person. So maybe emotions come, maybe it was far away, and maybe the way people were crying. It's possible we can also engineer you to cry. I always say that it's any elemental force that was doing that.
Because he didn't even know the person. He didn't know any funeral, but he wasn't feeling anything. He just started crying.
How do you know that somebody was dead?
No, he heard they were having a funeral.
Okay, maybe the person might, I think many things happen. So for instance, maybe the person has also lost somebody some time ago, and that pain was there. Emotionally, the person softly thinks of that incident, and then collaborating with whatever is happening, maybe next door, next 2 houses. The person can shed tears. I don't think this is mystical. It's not spiritual.
Oh, okay. So one last thing. After we cleanse ourselves, what do we do to regain our strength again?
Yeah, like for instance, like today as I'm sitting here, I feel kind of empty. And anytime I go to the cemetery, that's how I feel. Because I go to the cemetery and it's like so much energy is drawn for me. So like this, after the cleansing, everything now, when I go into my room, I'll do my prayers to regain my energy back. If you know how to do meditation, you sit down and then do meditation, you're able to regain your energy back. People are so dull that they might not even feel anything. They go to the cemetery, after the way they'll just be laughing and go and find some food and eat. They are not sensitive. They are too heavy. I said, but like I'm telling you, it's when I came, I was telling you guys that I'm hungry.
Yes.
I'm light. It's not food. It's like something is drawn for me. I said, my home was so baby.
So even if you eat, you still feel.
I'll be feeling like that until when I do what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Because I have a very fine energy, and I'm very sensitive to subtle energies. So when I go to environments like that, I feel like that, like empty, like something has left me. But people know, be on where did this and where you could no energy. That thing they on fire. The same to go. Some people are there, they eat. They don't care. Yeah. They're okay with it. They're okay with it. For instance, I see my master. What he doesn't like to see in this world is kebab.
Why?
I don't know why. So, normally when we do our soya beans kebab, like we do it and then we put the steak in there. My master has been telling us he doesn't want to see those things. So truly, anytime he's around, nobody will do that. So I remember some time ago, he came. Normally when he comes, I used to move with him. So we were in his room and said we should go for a walk in the afternoon around 4. That's how I think Nigerians were here, Togo people, Benin, like the whole West African sub-region. We were in Ghana. We were having a program there. So when we were coming from the walk, We go to the front of the temple. Some people were selling something, so he was going through it, seeing what is happening there. And then somebody was having the kebab on the table. My master nearly fell. If not because I was standing behind him, he could have fell. Seriously. So I held him. I said, take this from here, take it from here. So quickly, I said, move. Then we walked and we went in there. He was there for a long time. Just for the fact that he saw the kebab, it's soya beans. But on that stick, to him, it looks like meat.
Okay.
And just for the fact that he's seen the animal has been slaughtered and then the flesh has been stringed on this stick, that alone is enough. It was about, throw him on the ground. That's the level of energy I'm talking about.
Wow.
His energy is so fine to the point that when it's anything like this, it cannot contain it in his body. That's sensitivity. Or you're too sensitive to the things. Even at the end of the soya beans, but because it resembles meat alone, the energy is so fine, it cannot accept so kind of contaminations.
Oh.
So people are just too heavy because we do things anyhow. So you go to even a place. A spirit be wo BBC who won't tell you what to go but no, see, be a go hang then.
Yeah.
Then I go hang cry because I make a bit no wuye. And quite any person for wuye no. Na a very atrocious death. The energy of that person in that room. When you will be a war final energy, as you enter there, you know something is wrong there. It was footy. It was your body never done chong. It was a BBN. Yeah. So meditation helps.
Okay.
You do more meditation, you create finer energies around yourself. So you become a little bit sensitive. That's why you go close to people, even when they are about dying. You can sense it and see something is going to happen. These are all energies. Okay? So, yes, devotees, we try as much as possible. It doesn't mean devotees are saintly people. No. Devotees is like you go to the hospital. Everybody is there for a particular sickness.
Okay.
So you might be having toothache, and because of your toothache, you can eat. Somebody is having some leg problem. The person can eat like anything. So you go to the hospital, they give you any food, and you can't eat, and you see somebody eating ham. You don't say you are not sick, go home. No, the person is not sick with the teeth. I'm sick with my legs, so I can eat.
Okay.
And maybe when it comes to people walking, you can run and go. And the fact that you are running going, somebody who's having a leg problem cannot walk doesn't mean that you are not sick. So you go to the temple, each and everyone have a peculiar sickness. Somebody have this problem he's working on. This person has this problem he's working on. But still, we try to live saintly life. But it doesn't mean we are saintly. We have our own bad side also. But at least we learn some of these things to enhance our spiritual advancement. So devotees are beautiful, wonderful people to be around with. And trust me, when you go with devotees, some of these things, the understanding is that when people die, you go there and cry, pain and all that. But when we are doing this, we smile, we are happy, we dance. Because we know what we are doing is capable of elevating this person to a higher realm.
So you dance around the fire?
Fire, we don't dance. Before the fire, we do circumambulation 7 times.
Okay.
And when the fire is burning, we stand somewhere and then project energy there. Sing and sing and sing. After some hours, then we go home.
And I heard the fire changes shape.
Oh, yes. Normally, what I've noticed is that when people are very righteous, their fire moves straight up. I've attended many cremation, and you see the fire moves like this, like in a pyramid form. So the base is huge, but as it's going up now, it's a little bit thin, and it's straight. But when people are very evil, their fire is just moving around like that, all the ground. It doesn't go anywhere.
So even if the person has torsi in its mouth, the fire.
It means that the person is evil here. All the workings here.
Okay.
But up to that point, you cannot decide because the Lord can decide to accept the person.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So the person's life can be displayed in the mood of the flames of the fire. How you live your life. But just after that point, maybe we have done so many times, the Lord is ready to see this person. The fire might be like this, but the person can be accepted by this.
Oh, okay.
But it's just to show you that anytime, with my experience, you cremate people who are very pious, righteous people, you see the way the fire is kind of straight, it moves like that. The base is huge because of the coffin like that. So it goes through like this. But some of them, the fire will be dancing around here. It doesn't go anywhere. That will tell you this person will need power.
Thank you very much for this knowledge. And before we go, do you have any last words or any advice you want to give
my
us?
advice is that all of us will die one day.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're going to the Osu cemetery, you see this sign there that we were once like you. Before you enter the cemetery, there's a signboard there. We were once like you. Which means that all those graves that you see some time ago were human beings like us. So they are telling you, we were once like you. So anybody who is entering the Osu cemetery now, you should be in the known that those people down there in the graves were like you. And then when you are going out of the cemetery, remember, you will come back. It means that, yes, now you are strong. You came to bury somebody. You're going to eat your fufu and eat your banku and all that. But one day, you will come back. And when you are coming back now, you will not be carrying somebody's casket. You will be in the casket.
Okay.
So I am telling you, death is so certain. If you die today, tomorrow, or some days to come, you will die. So you have to prepare yourself for death because it's the most certain thing. And one of the best preparation to do is to be detached when you are living. Because attachment to your body, attachment to the extensions of this body will complicate issues for you at the point of your death. But when there's no much attachment there, it makes things a little bit easier for you to transcend to the next realm. You know why? Because attachment is dangerous. So I advise you, if you can learn how to detach yourself from the gross world, it doesn't mean that you don't show interest. You show interest in everything. You can own houses, you can own cars, you can own everything. But develop to the point that you know that all these things are beautiful for you to enjoy them. But you have to use them for the good cause. Because one day you have to leave them. So if you have this understanding, that deep attachment to some of these gross things will not be there. And it's going to pave a great way for you when it's time for you to leave this world. I live with all the blessings of God. Stay blessed and be successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. My name is Jonathan Morningstar, and we are out.